Good morning, welcome back to the desk for today's RC coffee chat. So let's go and do this, and we need to get to number one topic today, which is the Mini Drac is available for sale. So let's get straight across to the screen. So I don't know if you have been seeing the absolutely amazing model called the Drac. It's Chris Click, I think his name is. Really nice guy, and he built the Drac, and it's a humongous great big thing. And to be frankly honest, I was a little bit tempted to buy one, but they're $350, which is a lot of money. Let's just face that, it's a lot of money. And what he did was a couple of months ago did a video, I think it was on Team Legit's, in fact, well, I'll find it and stick it in the top right hand corner for you and put it in the video description as well, which is that he showed a mini Drac, so a little baby version of it, of course running on 4S, so it was ripping the sky a new one, and he was completely ragging the nuts off it. And yeah, he's been teasing for months and months, but the thing is that I don't know if you know much, and by the way, I frankly don't know that much about manufacturing, but I do know enough to know that molds cost a fortune, somewhere in the region of about 10,000 USD to make a mold which can be used. And obviously over time you find the molds wear out after X number of things. Anyway, the point being is that molds are very expensive, and I may have the story incorrect on this one, but Johnny over at Team Legit is committed to pre-selling 130 of these units of the Mini Drac to help build up the funds so that the mold can get made. And then I thought to myself, I definitely want one, so yeah, that's my 50 quid budget out the window. It is a very special model, like the other very special model which I ordered recently. And Scott, you were absolutely bang on. Trying to keep to a 50 quid budget is kind of hard, especially when such beautiful models like this one. In fact, let's go and look at that. Let's just pause for a moment to admire the Mini Drac. Wow, I just can't wait to get my hands on one, in short. And then I thought about it a little bit more, and then a little bit more, and then I kind of thought about my flying experience and how sad I would be. Imagine that we had one of those in front of us right now, and let's just go and have a look at some of the other artwork. Look at that. It is just beautiful. Yeah, imagine that ripping the sky a new one. It's just going to be amazeballs. Yeah, it's beautiful. And then the more I thought about it, the more upset I would be if I stuff it in the ground. So I am personally going to commit myself to 2 of these on the off chance that I stuff the first one in, and I would be very, very upset if I did stuff it in. So having a second, it would be very advisable for my flying skills. Yeah, I'm just waiting to see what the pound does right now, because we're on a bit of a low, and I've been reading up on it this morning. I don't really do currencies and stuff like that, but it has come to my attention that yeah, we're on a bit of a low at the moment, so it does make buying outside of the UK rather expensive compared to what it used to be. So I'm just seeing if it's going to stabilise the Brexit, if it's going to be a hard or a soft break. That will impact what happens with the pound. So I am just holding off for a day or two. So you will find a follow-up for the actual purchase or the pre-order of these in a later RC coffee chat. But right now, the Mini Drac is available to pre-order. I will personally be pre-ordering 2 of these. This is why I need to wait to see what happens to the currency, because it will make a sizable difference between not just like a pound or 2, we're talking tens of pounds. It's basically $350, so it will make quite a bit of difference. It is a considered purchase. I did consider the first one for about a second, and the second one was really the considered part, is that if I'm buying one, should I just buy 2? just in case I stuffed the first one. So yeah, the Mini Drac is available. And I also want to say a big hat tip to Johnny over at Team Legit of having the balls to actually commit to pre-selling 130 of these. I know Namil's already been and bought one. I think Dave's already thinking about buying one as well. I definitely want two because, like I said, I'd be really upset if I did stuff it up or stuff it in the ground. So yeah, I better go and press the like button on that one as well. I don't know what powerhouse I'll go for in it yet. Well, I can tell you point blank it will be an equal tree vector, which I end up sticking in it, or something similar. So yeah, it's not going to be a cheap model. And for some, this is one of those rare occasions where a fantastic model turns up. So like, for example, what was it? The Mini Sky Hunter or the Micro Sky Hunter came out very recently. And yeah, it's a nice little model, but I couldn't help but thinking in the back of my head there was a Mini Drac coming out, and which one would I rather have? Hello, Mini Drac. So that's what I'm going for. So if you are interested in the Mini Drac, like I said, what I'll do is put a link to a video which you can see Johnny on there from Team Legit in the video, and you'll also see Chris, and you'll also crucially see the Mini Drac repping the Sky new one, and I'll put that in the video description for you, and a link to this page as well.
In wing racing, it would hold
Oh yeah.
hold your lines really well.
I think wing racing with the Drac spec class. How many cells are we flying on today?
4S.
Oh man.
28, 10, 1400 or 1700 on 7.5. It does about 85.
Besides the speed and the flight characteristics, it just looks so sexy. Wow. Just be mindful, we have some people walking at the top of the course. They're not on the course.
Gotcha.
I lost you in the clouds.
So yeah, that's the news right now. Like I said, I am holding off on this one at the moment because I'm waiting to see what the pound does. But with that said, let's move on to some other topics which we've got to chat about today. My Taranis, I am going to be modding my Taranis to put a RP SMA connector up in the top of the Taranis so that I can run a 5 dB gain antenna instead of the stock 2 dB. That is kind of like a no-brainer to do. Now, I've watched a couple of videos on this. So far, it seems pretty straightforward. So all you do is take out 6 screws on the back, go careful of the ribbon cables, remove the hot glue on top of the current antenna wire, which goes onto the back transmitter board. We desolder the antenna off. We then make a new hole for the new antenna lead, which I've got over there somewhere. Then we strip off the wires. We then pre-tin, and then we solder on and then put some hot glue back on, and then put the unit back together again. It seems kind of straightforward to do. I wouldn't suggest it to anybody else to do unless you feel very confident in your soldering skills, because remember the Taranis is a £170 worth, so let's say $250 worth. Is not cheap by any means, so you do need pretty hot soldering skills. Although saying that, it's not going to be difficult to do. My only concern is that just getting the finished product right, because I did see some guy just getting a drill bit and drilling on the back and just leaving a big hole in the top where the previous one is. So that's my challenge right now is not of actually doing it. I thoroughly believe that it's pretty straightforward, but on the flip side, I'd like a nice, neat finish at the end. So I am actually going to go off on Thingiverse, which is a side topic for today's RC chat, in a few moments, and I'll see if I can find like either a bung to go on there, or maybe something which I can print out which would fit in the original hole, so that I can then put the connector in there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing over the next day or two. I don't think I'm going to video that one, to be honest, because it is pretty straightforward and it has been covered previously by others on YouTube. And yeah, the reason for doing it is really simple. 2 dB versus 5 dB. I don't know if you know how decibels work. Basically, you're just doubling the range, in short, or doubling the transmission power. So if it was only 25 milliwatts, you would be then transmitting at 50 milliwatts. That's the easiest way of doing it. In fact, it would be slightly more because of the extra dB. But so that's the reason why I'm doing it. And again, the other reason why I'm doing it is because I actually hit the limit the other day of the range of the Taranis. So yeah, I need to do a couple of things to get over that. So moving on, a little heads up. I just wanted to share this one with you. If you have seen the FrSky S6R receiver and have been tempted by one, so in short, this receiver has a stabilizer built into it, which is a very, very good idea, by the way. My view on stabilizers is that you should definitely use them. If you have them available to you, it is not cheating. It's called crash resistance, okay? It's just simple as that. If you screw up a maneuver or something like that, you can let go of this, literally just let go of the sticks, and a gyro will help correct and get the model back on a straight flying level. So yeah, gyros, I've used them lots in very awkward models. Foam board models, for example, ones which I know are going to be a bit iffy. Then I've got, well, it's not here in my office actually, I built a Typhoon Delta, which you really did have to keep the speed up on that one. And that one definitely had a stabilizer in it as well. And that's why I really crashed it once. Imagine how many crashes I don't think it would still be in one piece if I didn't have a stabilizer in it, put it that way. So the reason why I'm bringing this one up is a company called T9 Hobby Sport. They are based in the United Kingdom, and generally speaking, they are cheaper than Banggood. So £25.20. By the way, do go careful on the firmware which you do choose, as I found out that I bought a receiver from Banggood and it had universal firmware on it, and it did not work with my Taranis. So that's how I found out the hard way that I need the LBT. The EU software for my handset to do. So do check your Taranis if you're buying FrSky products, because there's two different types available. Okay, and if you're unsure, give these guys a call, and they're absolutely really hot. They're like shut hot. They help me out loads. That's why they're getting a mention today. Now compare that to £26.41. So £25.20, £26.41, and you have to wait. Whereas the T9 Hobby Sport is a UK-based company. So if you are in the UK as well, then yes, you do have to pay postage. But as you can see, I've got a couple of other items in my cart, other receivers, which I'm picking up at the same time. So overall, it does mean that I get it for cheaper. And I also get it a lot faster as well. We're talking like 2 days, 3 days tops, something like that. What else have we got on the topic list? Oh, for God's sake, do not buy this. All right, I genuinely mean it. Please grow some common sense, Banggood. Some bright spark manufacturer has been and created a 1000 milliwatt video transmitter. For God's sake, do not buy it, okay? If you think on 600 milliwatts, when you turn your video transmitter on and you've got other friends there with you, is that you swamp them, okay? We're even at the point to turn on, you can very easily swamp their video transmission signal. So for goodness sake, do not go for something ridiculously overpowered like that. And what I'm actually going to point out to you is that if you do have even the slightest inclination going, wow, 1500 milliwatts of video transmit, I'll be able to fly for miles. You can fly for miles on 600 milliwatts, okay? The best investment which you can actually make is not spending £35 on a high power transmitter. It is very simply a diversity receiver, which yes, that does cost £10 more, and you'll probably want to buy a little flat plate antenna for, but you will get better value for money out of a diversity receiver like this one. And this is the FR632, which has actually been through the cement mixer, which I do need to do that episode on to show you that it may or may not work afterwards in there. And yeah, that's where your money is better spent, because you can use this with all of your models, not just one model and really piss off all the mates which you're flying with, okay? So yeah, there is no benefit to you having such a high power video transmitter. You would be better off very simply using a diversity receiver like that one, and I'll put a link to that one in the video description. And my one, which has turned up and is working, is absolutely brilliant. I am super impressed with it. It is done ridiculously well, and I genuinely mean that. I'm super impressed with that FR, that Boss Cam one. Super impressed. So changing topic, yeah, I do need to sort out some antenna holders for the X8R and also the L9R receivers for some models. Right now I am thinking about using this one. In fact, have I got this? Yeah. Right, I've got two which I'm trying to choose between at the moment. I've got this one here, which will hold them out at 90 degrees to each other. But I am kind of thinking that I might need to open up SketchUp, which is like just a free CAD program, to make this base a little bit bigger so that I can hold it on down through the model. So yeah, that's the one I've been looking at. And the other one which I've been looking at is something like that. Now, my logic right now is something like that would probably be better. It may have like lower wind resistance. If you imagine that being mounted on the wing of, say, the Phantom, for example, something like that would probably have less wind resistance compared to something like that which has the join in the middle. So I'm a bit 50-50 on which one I'm going to go for. Yeah. If you, by the way, if you have any suggestions on what antenna mounts you have used or had experience with, please let me know in the comment section underneath this video. Oh, and the other thing which we need to do is go and check on the Parrot Disco wing to see if we've had any pre-sales. There it is. No, we haven't, in short. We've just got 44 on alert. Oh, and by the way, I did check the pre-orders page this morning. Nothing else new on there. So that's why I'm not including it in today's episode. So to summarize very quickly, Mini Drac! Linky is in the video description. Happy days. Just don't tell the wife. Don't tell the wife. Please don't tell the wife. She doesn't need to know. Your wife doesn't need to know either. We'll just keep it a secret between us. Shh. So the Mini Drac has come out available for pre-order. And yes, I will be buying 2 of those. I will be modding my Taranis with a 5 dB antenna. If you are interested in the S6R receiver or any other of the FrSky receivers, T9 Hobby Sport is generally cheaper, and if you do get stuck between which version you need, give them a call. They are very helpful. And what else? No sales on the Parrot Disco. And yeah, if you've got any suggestions on antenna mounts for an X8R or the L9R receiver, something similar to that, it is to be mounted in both cases on flying wings. So any suggestions on those, and also the orientation. Do you put the antenna? So imagine that in fact, imagine my keyboard is the wing. Do you put the model? Do you put the antennas like that, or do you put them like that? Does that make any difference if you put them that way round or that way round? I don't know. Do you know? Let me know in the comment section underneath this episode. So with that said, from myself, Matt, thank you ever so much for tuning in into today's RC Coffee Chat. I'm off to go and drink the rest of my cuppa, get this video edited up. Oh, and also look out for some new episodes coming out later today. There is an episode on the BFG glider, which may or may not go out. Yeah, it should go out today. It finally finished rendering. It came out just underneath a gigabyte because it is about 20 minutes long. And there's a nice big narration strip which goes with that episode as well. So with that said, thank you for joining me this morning. Have a fantastic day. If you are going out flying, please chuck an extra battery in for me and rag the nuts off it. So with that said, for myself, Matt, cheerios!